Hello, and welcome to another Father of the Day interview as we celebrate fathers this month of June. I'm your host, George, and with me today I have London Jones, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, Lyndon. Yeah, Lyndon Jones. What's up,
Awesome,
man?
awesome. Oh, we're excited to have you with us today to hear your unique fatherhood experience. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe where you're joining from us today?
Yeah. So I live in Houston, Texas. I'm born and raised in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So went to college up there, got my degree, and shortly after college, I got involved in real estate. And so started building my real estate business, and kind of one thing led to another, and just been working in this industry since. I have
Nice.
two kids, a daughter and a son, and they keep me more than busy and on my toes, and hair is turning gray and everything else that's wonderful and lovely. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And I have I have something that you wrote on your Instagram about your beautiful kids. You said, "Since God is love, God is God is our Father. Then the other name of Father is love."
Yeah,
Please tell us what you meant by that.
for sure. Man, I was just doing some reading and some meditation, and it kind of just dawned on me that God has adopted us as His children. And that
Mhm.
means He's our Father. And then, John would say that God is love. Love isn't something that God does, it's the very essence of who He is. So, as a Father, He is love. And therefore, when He has made you and I a Father, He has also given us the name of love and to be one who loves our children as He does to us. So
Awesome,
you
awesome.
cannot divorce father from love.
Yes, definitely. So, can you just tell us a little bit about your fatherhood journey and how it began?
Yeah, so actually, my fatherhood journey started on the Christmas Day in 2015. So that's the day my
Wow.
daughter was born. So she was our Christmas gift that year and every year after. And so 2015 Christmas, we had my then wife, my ex-wife, and I. We had our first child, Isabella Noel. And then from there on out, 2 years later, we had our second child, Noah Haddon, and he was born in November. And so being a dad has definitely been a journey. I think it's one of those things that it forces you to tap into a part of your being that otherwise you would never tap into. You can have certain jobs and have certain life experiences or experience marriage, but there's nothing that's going to bring out in you what being a parent does. It's a one of one unique experience, um, and so it's not perfect. It's not that I get it all the way right all the time, and it's a lot of learning on the job, trying
Yes,
to
definitely
understand
is.
your child and their personality and their quirks and their challenges as their personality grows and blossom, and you're also changing as a person yourself. So it's just a lot of living and a lot of learning.
Yes, it's definitely is. It definitely is. You did mention that you have two kids.
Yeah,
What are the ages?
yeah. So my daughter Isabella, she's 6, and my son Noah, he's 4.
Oh man, those are beautiful ages. So can you
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about their personality and also some activities you do with them?
for sure. So Isabella, she's a full throttle daddy's girl. Big personality, very vibrant, energetic, a lot more creative in her expressiveness. Very articulate and academic, and she likes to do homework and study, and into like the sciences.
Okay.
Noah, he's the opposite. He's all boy, a little bit on the destructive side, a little bit on the reckless side. He's the kid that's gonna jump off the couch and try to do a backflip. Um, but he's sweet. He's such a lover boy, very compassionate. He likes to give. He's really into sports, so he's into soccer and basketball. He's also into like learning, but he's more into like building things, whereas Bella's more into reading things. And so a lot of the activities that we enjoy doing, I love sharing experiences with my kids. So I like taking them to musicals, to plays, to different like indoor playgrounds. There's a couple like here in Houston, we have a place called like Dig World where you can like kids can ride excavators and tractors and things like that. We do a lot of park days and picnics are a big deal for us. So I love taking the kids and having a picnic. We do nature walks a lot. Um, and I like to introduce them to things that I'm into as well. So into fitness, so I work out with my kids, and they'll be in my fitness videos. And I love wine, so I let them smell my wine and tell me what they smell. But I never let them drink it. But
Yeah.
I just like introduce the things that I like to them as well.
Right.
We do
Right.
movie nights, little bonding things.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. Um, so, what is the most challenging part of fatherhood?
Hmm. I think for me, in my experience, some of the most challenging things, if I could be transparent, like having gone through a divorce and putting like kids through a divorce, like it's hard as an adult, right? The
Yes.
emotional, mental, psychological, like, trauma that goes through that. And so having gone through that with my kids, like, that was a big deal to me as far as like what they felt and what they experienced, and then how to navigate that, especially with my daughter, because she does have a memory of us being married and now having two separate families. And so having to parent through that and answer questions and explain certain things and how things are different now, but still cultivating a family of love and unity with their mom. And her and I co-parent very well. Um, but it's a challenging thing to navigate, and then also not understanding how deep of an impact that life experience was for them, knowing how it was for me. And so a lot
Yeah.
of it's like external influences. Your children go to school, and everything that's happening right now in our culture with children at school and it being an unsafe place, if you will.
Mhm.
And relinquishing control as your kids grow up and now they're not with you all day. Now they're at school under the responsibility of a teacher. You wonder, are they safe? Are they protected? Do they have what they need? Does anybody care for them if they need help? Um, and so I think a lot of the challenge for me has been so much external impacts, and a lot of it are things that are outside of the realm of my control, and learning how to live and trust through those things.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. And a lot of fathers will be watching your video, and they would they probably have gone through something similar to what you're going through, where you have a child with your wife now, ex-wife, and as you as you guys divorced and all that trauma that comes with it, like the question that I would want to ask is, um, how did you transition and deal with that, and also try to explain it to your kids? Do you explain it to your kids, or like how? Because a dad would be like, what do I do when this happens? You know?
Mm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, when we went through our divorce, my kids were still relatively young.
Yeah.
So like, the age of your kids, it's going to be a little bit different. But I felt like as their father, I owed them an explanation and I owed them an apology. So,
Yeah.
in the thick of it, I sat down with them multiple times. I explained to them what was going on. I confessed my wrongdoing to them, and apologizing to them and what this means for our family. Um, I allowed myself to be vulnerable with them, to cry if I feel like I need to cry in front of them. I didn't try to like be so tough of a man and like not let my kids see me cry. And I was just honest. And as they continued to have questions, I tried to answer them honestly on a level that they can understand. And I know as they get older, like they'll probably want to know more things. So it's just being honest and transparent with them, because I owed them that, and I owed them an apology, for what they were about to go through. as a result of my actions.
Mhm.
And how did I get through that? For me, the biggest help and tool was going to therapy.
Yeah.
My then wife and I, we were going through like marriage counseling. And then after our divorce, I went to divorce care counseling. And then I also hired a therapist. And so I still see my therapist on a quarterly basis. But back then, I was seeing my therapist like every 2 weeks. And so, a big part for me is like, as being a dad, like, you have to take care of yourself to take care of your kids. And if I'm not in a good financial, emotional, mental, physical position, then I'm really limited on how much I could be there for my kids. And so I needed to take care of myself emotionally and mentally so I could be better for them. And therapy was that place and continues to be that safe haven for me even now.
Yes, yes, definitely. And a lot of guys will doubt that therapy definitely works and it helps.
For
So
sure.
um, a- as dads, we don't always get enough services and help just for us. So what advice would you give society about putting more awareness to get some help for us?
Mm. Yeah, I think there's a saying I once read. It was like society goes where its leaders go, and the family goes where the father goes. And so a father is a very, very important part to the family structure and fabric, and what families will be, and families impact culture as well. And so, as far as like what services there should be, I just wish that there was more community around
Mm,
fathers and more support and encouragement. I think a lot of men go through a lot of different things and they really suppress a lot of the hardships and emotional uh, traumas that we go through. And we often feel like it's just us and we're on an island by ourselves. And really, we all go through a lot of the very same things, perhaps just in different ways. And so, if there was just more of a community of men, of brothers, all backgrounds, all races, to just be there for each other, to listen, encourage, support, uplift, motivate, hold accountable,
mm,
because fathers need to be present. It's
yes, definitely.
equally vital role to a child's life just as much as a mom. A mom is
Yeah,
immensely important to a child, and so is a dad on the same level.
yes, definitely, definitely.
We don't have to father
So
alone. We can do it together.
yes, definitely. So what advice would you give a new father about fatherhood? And what is something that you wish someone would have told you?
Mm. Um, I think you're prioritize.
Mhm,
It depends on your personality, but I can remember when around the time my daughter was being born, someone had told me the best thing that a man can do for his family is to work as hard as he can and make as much money as he can.
mhm,
And the guy who told me that was an absentee father, and that's what I told him.
mm,
So that's something that an absentee father would say. You know,
wow.
and I think the best thing you can do is, obviously making money has its place and its role, but I think the most important thing is to be present. Prioritize being
Yes.
present in your child's life. Prioritize being involved. Go to the doctor's appointments. Go to the little meetings. Be there at the school
Mm,
functions. Be there at dinner and not on your phone. Have movie
yeah,
nights.
yes.
Be involved and being present with your kids, because there's going to come a day where you don't get to hold your kid no more. They're going to be too big and you'll
Yes.
never know when that day happens. They're just too old.
Mhm,
There's going to be a day where your little boy doesn't want to kiss you anymore because he's your son and you're his dad. There's going
mhm,
to be a day when your daughter is going to take a liking to another boy and you're going to give her away in marriage.
yeah.
Time is running out. So be present, be involved, be there with your kids, and don't live so much in your own world, but take part in theirs.
Yes, definitely. I definitely agree with that. Like, being present is very important because a child does not remember how much money you gave
Mm,
them to buy this. Like,
no.
you could spend $1 million in 1 month, but if you show up to that basketball game, they'll
Yes.
remember that. They will not remember the $1 million, but they'll
Yeah.
remember your face at the basketball game. And a lot of people think money can replace presence, being present, but it won't ever. It will never.
You can't. No, you're valuable. Like as a father, you're more valuable than the money that you can give, and your
Mhm.
time and your energy and your effort and your attention is what kids
Yeah,
really desire.
definitely. Well, I have some rapid fire questions that I'm going to ask you.
For sure.
Um, just tell. I'm going to say a word and just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. So
Okay.
the
Okay.
first word, the first word is kids. Um, Uh, and the second word is partner.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When you said kids, I said love.
Okay. The first word is partner.
Partner. Um, helper.
Fatherhood.
Work.
Uh, love.
God.
Dad.
Leader.
Sleep.
Wait, say that again.
Sleep.
Non-existent.
That's what everybody say. Gift.
Gift. Your time.
Greatness.
What's in you?
And the last but least, self care.
Self-care. Therapy.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, London, for joining us today. I really appreciate you. False Selfless, appreciate you, the work that you're doing with your kids. And people are going to see this video and they're going to be inspired by you. You're going to touch a lot of people. And we really appreciate you taking your time to do this uh, video with us today.
Man, I appreciate you, and I so value and cherish what you guys are doing in the community and on a large scale. So it's definitely needed. So keep going, bro. Really, really appreciate
Uh,
it.
Thank you.